court. Before we took a short break, we were to hear from Okongo Mogeni. But remember also I brought the issue of Chebukati and him declaring or pronouncing that we have that postponement of those two counties, the elections as well. Did he overplay his hands because they're not also in concert with the other commissioners? Okongo Mogeni.
Yeah, I think first, I'm actually surprised that Kenya Kwanza does not want us to count the votes.
I did not say that. No,
tally them and declare the winner.
No.
If you are very
Mr.
sure,
Omogeni, I did not say that.
If you are very
that
sure,
Debal, why is he lying?
that you won an election,
I'll give you a chance to respond.
If you are very sure that you won an election, you should freely tell the court that the first business we want.
Farah Maalim, Gladys,
the floor is mine.
Meeting, please.
The first thing you need,
Farah.
But why is he using my name to lie? And Kenya Kwanza never sent you here.
The first
just a moment. We'll give you a chance to respond.
The first thing you need to tell the court is that, look, I'm confident of my numbers.
And we are.
And I'm free to welcome the court. Yes. To do the recount, tally the votes. The 4 commissioners plus the other 3.
I have not said that
sit down and the figures they give us, that should be the president of the country. That should be an issue that should not actually be belabored. They should freely and willingly tell us that we have confidence in what is in the ballot boxes, open them, count them, and the person who garnered the highest number of votes,
I did not say
who hired the number of votes,
something on my behalf.
who garnered the highest.
But he gave you a chance.
Yeah,
you'll get a chance to actually
No, but I did not say that I'm afraid of a recount.
So Debal, there is nothing telling us about technicalities of the Constitution. The court has powers, and it has done it in several petitions. If it can be proved that the person who garnered the highest number of votes and attained 50+1 is the Azimio candidate Raila Odinga, the court should go ahead and exercise that power, orders to recount, tally, and we declare Raila the president, and the country moves on. That is what if it is what it means to have a judicial system that can give people justice. And if it is Raila, if it is William Ruto, so be it. But
uphold
justice. Nobody should come here and tell us they don't want us to recount and tally unless they know that there is something that we don't know.
They lost.
Yeah, unless they know that they lost the election.
Which is the case.
Just a moment, Farah. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah. Then number 2. We cannot talk about election offenses here and telling people that, Raila committed an election offense. I want to invite Gladys to read the decisions from courts on election offenses. The best I can refer you to is the one of Moses Masika Wetangula. Yes. The court said that an election petition court has got no jurisdiction to make a determination on election offenses.
Yes.
So when we are moving to the Supreme Court is not going to make a determination on election offenses. So you cannot tell the country that the court cannot declare Raila Odinga as the person who won the presidency because he committed an election offense. That is not within the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. The only thing the Supreme Court can do is to recommend to the DPP to do an investigation. So we want it to be clear to Kenyans that if the Supreme Court can undertake a recount and a tally and come to the finding that Raila won the presidency, there will be no issue of saying he committed an election offense, so it cannot be declared. 3, Debal, just to show that Chebukati is the wrong person to be entrusted with the task of running an election. Is the
his character and assassinated?
No.
You told me not to character assassinate his character.
No. Let me tell you, I'm citing the Constitution. My friend.
Just a moment. No. Want to also speak? Even you've spoken. You actually characterizing Cherara. Just a moment. You said they were not really qualified actually to be the commissioners. Yeah. In light of the computation they gave. Just let him have his I'll rule him. Just a moment.
These interruptions.
He's not even clearly stopping. No, we don't even where he is going. Let him just let him have his head. Continue.
If you read chapter 6 of our Constitution, says that this Constitution should bind all public officers. And when you are exercising any power, any decision-making process, it must be within the confines of this Constitution. Farah can remind me, but in the history of Kenya, even when we had that guy you called Montgomery,
yes,
I've never seen a situation where an election in a constituency has been postponed. I've never seen. This is the first time, and Chebukati will go down in history as the first chair of an independent commission that violated the constitution and unilaterally. Because I don't think there was an invitation.
And the practice.
There was never an invitation for the 7 commissioners to sit. That matter put in an agenda and a discussion made and a decision made by IEBC to postpone elections in Kakamega, in Mombasa, and in 5 other constituencies. Really, I cannot think of a serious transgression and violation of the Constitution of Kenya than what I've seen. Because, Dibali, if you read the Constitution, Article 101 says a general election of members of parliament, and the word used is shall be held on the 2nd Tuesday of August in the 5th year. If you read the entire of that article, there is nowhere where the chairman of IBC has been given powers to unilaterally postpone an election and deny, elected members from 5 constituencies an opportunity to win a seat and participate in the election of a speaker. So this is all being done because Chebukati wants to give an advantage to one side of this coalition, so that 5 members of parliament will not be in parliament when a speaker will be picked, in violation of this constitution. I've read it to you. If somebody can read a different section of the law that gives the chairman powers not to comply with this article, I want to see that article read to me this morning. If you go to Article 180, it says the county governor election shall be held on the same day as the general election for members of parliament. Again, the word used is shall, mandatory. Now, single-handedly and unilaterally, to the disadvantage of the people of Kakamega County and Mombasa County, the chairman of IEBC has cancelled elections that were supposed to be held in these 2 counties in violation of the constitution. Now, are we a country that respects rule of law, or we are a country that wants to promote the law of the jungle? I'm saddened, and I'm saying this is it's a very sad day for our country, that somebody can just wake up casually, very casually. No meeting of commissioners, no resolution of the commission, and he just announces to Kenyans that I've cancelled elections in 6 areas. So, the only inference I can make is that Chebukati does not respect our constitution. Chebukati does not understand that we have Chapter 6, which has serious consequences for any Kenyan who violates the constitution. And I would like this matter really to be pursued to its logical conclusion, and a decision is made that gives serious sanctions on the chairman, on what he has done from voters from these regions. Finally, Dibal, when you talk about election offenses, manipulation, and issue of agents, I want you to go back to what happened to the U.S. President Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon was impeached. The Watergate scandal was just about interference with the Democrats in the electoral process.
Criminal intent.
With criminal intent. So we want to know this thing of, I don't have details, but I hear some...
So Donald Trump also has got an issue right now.
Some documents were seized from
Donald Trump's,
from bombers. I hear Venezuelans who are arrested in, is it JKA, in the middle of this electoral process. We also want to know whether a presidential candidate was part of this conspiracy. Because if it was part of this, if anybody was part of this conspiracy, we go back to what Sholea said, that we should also go further and investigate whether anybody committed an election offense in this election.
Thank you.
So that we even bar them from running in the subsequent elections.
Yeah, my senior counsel, Okongo Mogeni, I think is one of the best fishermen fishing in an ocean or waters without fish. And he's not going to catch any fish. Because if we go to facts of law, if we look at the commission as it is at the moment, the 4 commissioners have abdicated and they've acted in defiance. That is what we see. Because even the reasons they've placed out there, I've seen international media and even international observers dismissing them. They stand outrightly dismissed by any reasonable thinking human being. 3 commissioners sitting with Chebukati will take a decision, and it will be binding.
2, it's Chebukati 3.
Yes, 3, yeah, because the 3 commissioners together with, it means they meet the threshold of the law, and Chebukati can take any decision. So any reasoned decision, you must execute it as a chair, and you cannot be a victim of other forces outside that arrangement. So my brother Mogeni, senior counsel, however much you argue around this is all fishing expedition. Decisions are taken, and there are reasons. I'm sure if you brought Chebukati, ask and explain why you postponed elections in this particular constituencies and counties, he will have a reason, a very justifiable reason. And he couldn't do it himself. While these 4 other commissioners, who are now known to be direct friends associated with persons in Azimio, are acting in defiance and sabotaging the commission. And in fact, if I would still be in the 13th parliament, these are people who should be impeached and removed from office, because they can throw the country into chaos by coming out and telling us lies. You cannot tell us that 0.01 is 140,000. That's a fact for sure. You cannot tell us that 34 counties of Raila and 39 counties of William of minimum 25% is not tenable. There are no 72 constituencies. Mathematically, things which are wrong. They've demonstrated, the 4 commissioners have demonstrated that what they are doing is in very bad faith. They have no reasons at all. And in fact, we wonder how these commissioners ended up being commissioners, because they lack the basic qualifications, the basic integrity.
I think you belaboring the same point you've made. For the sake of time,
let me come back.
Yes, please.
No, Debal. Let me now come back to this big agenda of recounting votes. Our team here, you are free to place any prayer before the court.
You can ask for a
recount the
recount.
votes. That is a prayer before a court of law, and that nobody can bar you from placing that particular prayer. To nullify the election, you can place that prayer. For the court to announce and declare a presidential candidate, you can place that prayer. To pray for rerun of the elections or another round of voting, you can place that prayer. You can place 1,000,001 prayers. Nobody is going to stop you. And nobody in this show is going to stop you.
Right.
The corridor, the highway of justice, nobody is going to stop you. But I can tell you accurately and for sure, you cannot put Kenyans at ransom in this entire process.
Thank you.
If the Supreme Court, allow me, if the Supreme Court ruled very clearly and said the pronouncement of results at the polling station are final, and you must verify all the Form 34.
Thank you.
And this actually was done in the presence of all the agents of both parties and in full witness of the commission and commissioners, the same ones who are actually raising issues and talking about opaque issues. I don't think you are going to get anything.
All right. Okay. They put out a statement, and I just want to read it. Then maybe you can actually also, speak more in light of what they're saying and the accusations here, because it's lengthy. I'm going to just cherry pick. Yeah. Don't accuse me that now I'm taking a text out of context. Yeah. I'll just begin where it says that the commission's attention has been drawn to a press statement by Mr. Wafula Chebukati, dated 17th August 2022, wherein
the commission is the 4.
The commission's attention, the commissions in its entirety, wherein he inter alia claimed that the commission Vice Chairperson Ms. Juliana Cherara, and the Commissioners Irene Masaid, Francis Wanderi, and Justice Ningai allegedly attempted to subvert the sovereign will of the Kenyan people by forcing a runoff in the just concluded presidential election. The statement said in part, the Commission wishes to respond to the said press release and offer clarity as follows. The mandate of the Commission is founded in the Constitution at Article 81 and 88, in particular Article 88, Section 4 of the Constitution pertinently provides as follows. The Commission is responsible for conducting or supervising referenda and election to any elective body or office established by this Constitution and any other elections as prescribed by an Act of Parliament. In conformity with the constitutional mandate, the undersigned on the 15th August 2022 asked the chairman, Mr. Chebukati, to table the presidential results before the plenary commission for verification and to enable the commissioners conduct a thorough verification process as mandated by the Constitution before any results are announced or declared. Regrettably, the chairman, Mr. Chebukati, clothed himself with autocratic powers and declined to obey the results for verification as duly required by law before the said results are announced. He argued that there was no constitutional or legal basis for the Commission's involvement in supervising and verifying results received at the National Tallying Center. The Commission thereafter pointed out to Mr. Chebukati that in addition to Article 88, subsection 4 of the Constitution, Section 9, 1D of the Election Act, obligates the Commission in the following terms that, and it continues here, let me just go back there, that the Commission shall verify the results transmitted under this section an accurate record of the results tallied or verified and declared at the respective polling station. We wish to categorically state that from this statement, the chairman, Mr. Chebukati, appears to have misconstrued his role and that of the commissioners, and further misunderstood the constitutional and legal mandate to verify results by the Commission to mean what he vaguely characterized as moderation of those results. At no time did the Commission seek to moderate elections results, but rather requested that a proper verification as envisaged by the Constitution be carried out. The chairman, Mr. Chebukati, went ahead to unilaterally declare the results without any plenary verification whatsoever by all the commissioners and or their participation as mandated by the Constitution and electoral laws. His actions and conduct were unorthodox and turned the Commission into a one-man show circus in attempt to subvert the Constitution, electoral laws, and the will of the people. The undersigned, in conformity with their legal responsibility, reiterated that they could not take ownership of Mr. Chebukati's individualistic alleged results that he intended to declare for the simple reason that the constitutional process of supervision of elections, which includes but is not limited to verification of the same by the Commission, was not undertaken by the Commission as required. It's a long one, but I just give you a gist of what we're really saying.
Because I need to wind what...
You are done. You
interjected
that.
So this the undersigned, of course, is the full Commission.
You know, Deval, your allocation, it was far now.
It is far as time.
Yeah, it was far as time.
No.
It was far as time.
I didn't. It is far as time.
Deval, that's exactly what I was saying. Mischief at the polling stations, or rather at the returning officers, that is probably not carried in the schemes and even in the ballot papers. Just simple mathematical numbers that were put in there. The commissioners are saying, let us verify. When we see this disparity, let's call the returning officer and his presiding officers and ask them, what is this? And if need be, get court orders for us to open up these boxes and verify. And Chebukati says, no, we have no issue with that. We will take this as gospel truth. We will tabulate this and tally this, and we'll declare the president of this country.
Chebukati is not allowed to open the ballot papers.
No, he's not allowed to do that.
It can be done by court.
I know, it can only be done through a court. That's why that's what I said, through a court. But then here it is, he says, I want to see this. In any case, the KIMs are there. The KIMs never lie for information. And the KIMs are electronic. If you are told that somebody can easily rig these elections, you cannot rig them. I'll tell you one thing. The only thing you can do is you put those Form 34As and put the wrong figures there on the presidency, and it will instantly be called out. because it will not reflect the same numbers on the KIMS. On the KIMS. If it shows that the presidential election here, there is so many who have voted for the president and the KIMS does not reflect that, then you know there's a fraud there. All we needed to do, these commissioners wanted to do, is to call those areas, the returning officers and the presiding officers, hold them accountable on that. If need be, get the CID to investigate.
The returning officers were bombers.
Just a moment.
Let him finish.
Just a moment.
Allow him to share
just
his
a moment.
point.
Chebukati says absolutely.
You should know it's about my turn, right?
Absolutely, yeah, it's your turn after that. Absolutely no. Exactly the way they're saying right now. So they could not take ownership. And all these provisions of the Constitution here, Article 81, sub-article, Gladys is laughing.
I'm laughing. I'll tell you why I'm laughing.
Sub-article is here. It says, free from violence, intimidation, improper or corruption, conducted by an independent body, transparent. Transparency starts with the relationship between the commissioners themselves and Chebukati. Administered in an impartial, listen to me, administered in an impartial, neutral, efficient, accurate, and accountable. So if a commissioner says, look, I want to see this, whether these numbers add up, what powers does Chebukati have to say, no, you can't? Imagine, the very people who are supposed to give us justice in here, who are supposed to give us this kind of a model election,
thank you,
are between themselves saying no. A commissioner is being denied the right to hold the process accountable. What happens to an ordinary person like me, like you and me? Personally, the way I see it is that immediately the DCI should have moved in there, taken these 7 of them into also some kind of a protective.
Under which law?
Just a moment.
Under which law?
Under we're supposed to be winding up briefly.
Look. Nobody is above the law here.
Yeah.
Nobody has a right to commit a crime. Nobody, including stealing votes there in the manner that they were doing it. And because there's a problem within the commission itself, the body that's supposed to handle these things and give us this fairness and justice, then you have I haven't finished. You have a responsibility as the DCI to investigate that. And progressively continue and go all the way down to the polling stations and to go to the presiding officers, to the returning officers, and if there was a mischief, hold them accountable because that's criminal.
Thank you. And Gladys, we've got only
I know, in fact, I've just realized you've kept us here too long. No, first of all, the reason I'm very amused is because he has clearly supported that statement by the 4 commissioners.
Yes.
And everything he has been saying, Senator Mogeni has been saying, is what the commissioners have said there. So they're the ones who wrote the brief for those 4 commissioners. No. Another thing, allow me to speak.
I can't take that, please. You can't.
No.
That one I will not accept.
You can't. Just give her a moment. Will you qualify? How certain are they?
Okay, I'm amused also because
on the
if you
contrary, I know the
remember,
no, just let her.
Can I be allowed to speak?
Yes.
But please, she cannot say that I wrote a statement for the commissioners. That's not right. That is not right.
Speaking for Kenya Kwanza a while ago.
That's not right. But you cannot.
Can I speak?
You cannot impute.
We are strapped for time.
You cannot impute ill motive. Not me. You can cite any other person, but not me.
Hold on.
Please, just wait. Let her say what's here.
You can't make that kind of allegation.
All of you know that even the statement initially read by Cherara, or Cherera, whatever her name is, when she first read her statement from that place, what is it called? Serena. Yeah. It was word by word what was read by Raila.
Yes.
So you can see these people wanaandikiwa. Even her math.
We have no evidence.
Yeah. No, I have. Can we play
I don't have myself, so I can't let it just be.
No, the statement is read by the commissioners.
If the statement that is read at Serena
we are winding up the show.
Similar to the statement that is read at KS.
Don't allow.
And the arguments made here on the show is similar to what you have read.
My arguments are based on the Constitution.
Can I wind up the show, please? Let me just wind up the show on that because we don't have any evidence on this. So I don't want to allegations.
The evidence is
not an allegation.
Let's wind up the show.
I know you have to look after your job, eh?
Yeah.
I know.
No, it's not about the job. No,
you have to look after your job. So
it's really about my job, truly.
It's okay for you
I'm not privy to that information. I can't just let it.
I'm glad you read a statement.
Yes,
which statement I had not read, but it was very. No, I had not seen that statement, but it's exactly what they've been arguing since we started.
Okay, but we cannot say that someone else has actually written.
No,
there
it was
for
exactly
them.
what Omogeni
Yes.
was saying.
That's what-
Yani,
no, no.
Omogeni-
What
Rewind
I've
that.
done, I've just
The
said
statement read at Serena.
Thank you, thank
and
you.
the statement read at KICC.
Thank you,
are
thank you.
the
similar.
same word
and the
by
arguments they
word.
have made are the same.
All right,
arguments.
you've exhausted even my time to do the parting shots for us.
do the parting
Let us no, we'll do any parting shots because of time. All right, we just take a short break right now. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sosion. Thank you.
Because they were directed
I'll
from
just switch you off.
Harambee House. That's
Thank
the
you,
truth.
thank